proportion. So the law is the law of variable proportion or law of return to a factor is the law related to short-run production function. So let's discuss about law of variable proportion. Okay, this is the law related to short-run production function. So what do you mean by law of variable proportion? So law of variable proportion is otherwise known as law of return to a factor. That is law. So the law says that the marginal product, that is MP, of a factor input initially rises with its employment level. But after reaching a certain level of employment, it starts falling. That is known as law of variable proportion. So this law says that at the initial stage of production, the marginal product of a factor rises. Okay. But after a certain level, after completing a certain stage of production, it starts falling. That is the law of variable proportion or law of return to a factor. So as we hold one factor input fixed and keep increasing the other. So in short term there are fixed factor and variable factor. So we hold one factor fixed and keep increasing the other factor. So the factor proportion changes because one factor is fixed, another one is varying. That's why the factor proportion changes. So initially this proportion becomes more and more suitable for the production. In the earlier stage of production, the proportion between input, variable input and fixed input is more suitable for the production. That's why MP rises. But after a certain level of employment, the production process becomes too crowded with variable factor because the producer can increase only the amount of variable factor, only the quantity of variable factor. That's why the production process becomes too crowded with the variable factor. Okay, so the factor proportion becomes less and less suitable for the production of a product. That is the reason for this law of variable proportion. Okay, so the law states that at the initial stage of production, MP rises. But after a certain level of employment, it starts to fall. The marginal product starts to fall. That is the law of variable proportion. Then there are some assumptions related to law of variable proportion. They are, first one factor input is variable. That we know that in short run, one factor input is variable. And all other factors are fixed. Okay. Then next one, it is short run production function. So this law is applicable only in short run production function. Then factor proportion is variable. That we have discussed earlier. Here the factor proportion is variable. That's why this law is known as variable law of variable proportion. Because one factor is fixed, then output or production can increase only by increasing the other factor. Okay. Then unit of variable factor are homogeneous. That means the variable factors are same or equally efficient. There is no difference between each variable factor. Then the next assumption is technology remain unchanged. There is no change in technology. Technology remain unchanged. These are the assumptions of law of variable proportion. Okay. So this law is otherwise known as law of return to a factor. That means return is happen. So the producer can produce goods only by increasing one variable. That's why it is known as law of return to a factor. A factor means one factor, that is only due to variable factor. Okay. So as we discussed earlier, we know that in short run, as we increase the quantity of variable factor only, The proportion between fixed factor and variable factor will change. Because, for example, here land is fixed factor and labor is variable factor. So here land being fixed factor remain constant and the labor being variable factor is changing. That means only one factor is changing, the other one is fixed. There is no change in the quantity of fixed factor. Okay. So accordingly the proportion or the ratio is also changing. So in the first ratio is 1:1. Then in second one 1:2. Then in third 1:3 and 1:4. So the ratio is varying. That's why this law is known as, or short-term production function is known as variable proportion. The proportion between fixed factor and variable factor increasing or changing. That's why this law is known as variable. That is known as variable proportion. Okay. Then we can explain this law with the help of a schedule. Here we can see one table. Here we can see unit of variable factor, that is x1, then total product and also marginal product. So according to the return or according to the output or increase or decrease in the MP, the production process is divided into 3 stages. Okay, that are stage of increasing return. So in this table you can see here in the first stage or up to the implementation of third unit of variable factor, that is x1, the marginal product is increasing. Okay, first one 2, then 3, then 4. So it is increasing. This stage is known as stage of increasing return. That means MP is increasing. So that stage is known as increasing return to a factor. Then after this level, when a producer implement one more unit of variable factor, that is implementation of fourth factor, what happened to MP? MP is decreasing from 4 to 3, then 3 to 2, 2 to 1 and it becomes 0. So the second stage, that is known as diminishing return. That means MP fall positively and become 0. In the third stage, MP decreases and become 0. Then in the third stage, what happened? The MP become negative. This stage is known as negative return to a factor. Okay. So according to this law, at the initial stage of production, MP rises. So the rising stage is known as stage of increasing return. Then after a certain level, what happens? The MP decreases. So that stage of production is known as stage of diminishing return. Here MP falls positively and becomes 0. Then when producer continue to implement additional unit of factor x1, what happened to MP? MP become negative. Okay. So that stage is known as stage of negative return. Okay. In this stage, MP become negative. Marginal product become negative. So what are the phases of production? There are 3 phases. In the first stage, phases means stage. In the first phases, the MP increases. So that stage is known as increasing return to a factor. Then second stage is diminishing return to a factor. Then the third stage is negative return to a factor. We can explain it with the help of a diagram also. Okay. Here you can see a diagram. Here y-axis represent total product and also marginal product, and in x-axis represent variable factors. In the first phases or first stage of production, that is we can observe from 0 to 3, this is the first stage of production. Here what happened? Here TP increases. Here this is the TP curve. It increases at increasing rate. Okay. Here this phase MP also increasing. Marginal product also increasing. Then what is the reason behind this? Because at the first stage of production, there will be a better utilization of fixed factor, then efficient use of variable factor, and there may be a better coordination between factors. That is the reason for increasing return. Then second stage or phase 2 is from variable factor 3 to 7. In this stage, what happened? It starts from 3 to 7. So here TP is increasing. Okay. And it reaches at maximum. This is the maximum level of total product. At the same time, what happened to MP? In the second stage, MP is decreasing but positively. Okay. So in the second stage, TP, that is total product, increasing at diminishing rate. Okay. Then it reaches maximum. Then what happened to MP? MP start to diminishing and become 0. Okay. Then after the point 7, okay, after the implementation of 7th unit of variable factor, what happened to TP? TP start to decrease and MP become negative. Okay. So these are the 3 phases of production. In the first phase, TP increases at increasing rate, then marginal product also increases. So that stage is known as increasing return to a factor. Then in the second stage, what happened? In the second stage, when TP increases, then what happened to the MP? MP start to diminish and become 0. Okay. So when TP increases at the diminishing rate, MP falls positively. Then when TP is maximum at the end of the stage number 2, the TP become maximum. Then what happened to MP? MP becomes 0. Okay. So this stage is known as diminishing return to a factor. This is due to sometime overutilization of fixed factor or sometime imperfect substitution of factors, or due to some poor coordination between variable factor and input. These are the causes of diminishing return to a factor. So second stage is known as diminishing return to a factor. Then in third phase of production, what happened? That is, this can be seen from 7th unit to 9th unit. Okay. So after 7th unit of variable factor, what happened? TP start to decrease and MP become negative. So this stage is known as negative return to a factor. Okay. The causes of negative return to a factor are fixity of fixed factor. So the producer cannot change the amount of fixed factor. So what happened? The overcrowding of variable factor. Okay. So for producing or in order to produce more output, producer will employ more and more unit of variable factor. He can change the quantity of variable factor only. So he will increase the number of or amount of variable factor. So the production is overcrowding with variable factor, and also it is due to defective factor ratio. So there is a wide gap between fixed and variable ratio. Okay. So these are the causes of negative return to a factor. Okay, students. So today we have discussed about the concept related to production and also the law of variable proportion. So according to this law, at the initial stage of production, marginal product increases. But after a certain level of employment, the marginal product start to diminishing and also become negative. Okay. So this is very important law related to short-run production function. Okay, students. So as usual, you have to watch the URL, attend the test paper and download your notes and study it well. See you in the next class.